recommending as low as 35 years old
Yes. Yeah.
because so many young people are testing positive.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's true. And those are things that people should also just, you know, prevention is better than cure, right? I know, I did colonoscopy, I don't know, maybe like 3 years ago. It wasn't comfortable, right? They give you the liquid and then they ask you to drink it for like, I don't know, 24 hours and stuff. But man, fasting is good.
Yes.
You're cleansing your system, right? And you're also trying to find out if you have some polyps in your si- in your intestine. So if they find it, they can get it out, right? That
Well,
way you're healthy.
most definitely. I mean, anyone that's out there listening, hey, I've had 4
You
colonoscopies.
see that?
Every 5 years,
Yeah.
I take mines, and they say 10, but I go in every 5 to my doctor. And listen, it's not as bad as people think. You know, it's definitely something that we all should be doing, especially if you're 50 and over. And it definitely is a preventative thing that helps you. Because I mean, I've got friends that have died from colon cancer, um, in the last few years, and
Right.
it's a very preventable um, thing. You know.
Yeah.
And not to get into like other aspects with how other countries do things, but I know in Australia, a checkup, it's a whole day. You can go to places like Australia, Turkey, and they do a full body checkup from head to toe, MRIs. I mean, it's like a whole day. Here it might be 20, 30 minutes. So and I don't know if the technology is in here yet. Um, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, is the technology here for that to happen?
Steve, the technology's here. Full body scan, MRI could catch anything in your body.
Yeah.
Of course it's here.
Yeah.
You're thinking about America, man. Everything is here. And with the scan and then with the blood test and urine test, I mean you can find everything. It doesn't have to take you the whole day like it takes in Australia.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just do some scan and give them your blood and urine and they will, they'll get you the
Well, it takes
results.
a whole day because from what I hear, they do everything from
Yeah.
again head to toe. They do your teeth, they do your heart, they do
Okay.
your colon, they do everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
So when you leave, you're gonna know what's going on with your body. It's not
Yeah, I
just one
think
thing.
a lot of times, Steve, it's the medical insurance. They don't want to pay for the extra stuff.
And that's a whole nother issue. Because what I just mentioned is about $900
Yeah.
in Australia or Turkey. You know what I mean?
And then who pays them?
Those tests would be thousands here,
Exactly.
and you have to have a very good doctor you have a relationship with,
Yeah.
and that makes a big difference too.
It is. I mean, that's a whole new conversation. Talking
Yeah,
about
you're right.
the
It
insurance
is.
companies and the pharmaceutical companies.
But since we're talking about it, I mean, why not? Because listen, right?
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, you go to the doctors, you
Yeah.
complain about a problem, and they prescribe you with medication. And for people like us on the other side, it's kind of like, this is going to cure it. It just helps maintain it. And then the pharmaceutical companies, they're making millions. I know as a doctor, it's hard for you to comment on that, but from our end as the consumer, that's a problem. Like we're going to the doctor, we're going to be cured, but we're leaving with things just being maintained as opposed to
Maintain that with a medical bill too.
Right.
I think the Congress and this administration are working on at least getting some of those prescription medications at a lower rate. But I think it's a conversation I need to continue having, because honestly, between the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies, well, ordinary citizens are paying so much money, and it's not really fair, honestly speaking. But like I said, that's again conversation for another day.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Let's concentrate in trying to get our own preventive stuff going on, right? At least once a year, if not more than that, right? Go and get a comprehensive medical checkup. Check everything. Um, um, for men, especially black men, check your prostate. It might be uncomfortable. Please check it. Do colonoscopy. All right. Dental. Do you know that you're entitled to two dental cleaning like twice a year, free?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
Exactly. Go get your. Just sit down. All of us watch. You see all those movies out with the white teeth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just get it shine. By the time you do it like twice a year. I mean,
You hear that, folks? Free dental cleaning twice a year.
Now,
Yeah.
is this at your clinic or
Clinic.
any?
And when I say free, like it's covered by insurance.
Oh, okay,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have dental insurance. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the cleanings. Yeah, the
the
cleanings,
cleanings
are
are
free, yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go get your teeth clean. Go get your eye checked as well too. If you're squinting trying to read, you probably just need reading glasses,
Yes.
like I do right now, like this one.
Yes.
It's just ordinary reading glasses.
But when you're
Well-
talking about going in for that physical,
Yeah.
when I go in, my doctor draws blood.
Yep.
He checks the PSA level
PSAs
for your prostate.
Exactly.
A lot of doctors are getting away from the exam of their prostate. They just do the PSA and see where your levels are at.
Yeah.
They check your cholesterol, which is very important.
Exactly.
Blood pressure,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like I said, your doctors will recommend a colonoscopy at a certain age for you, and that's your choice whether you decide to move forward with it or not.
But it's better for you to do it, right?
Yeah, most
Because
definitely.
honestly speaking, and again, prevention is better than cure, right? Would you rather have go at a later stage when you have colon cancer and have to do colonoscopy anyways, or just go do normal preventive test and and if there's some polyps, get it out before it turns into cancer. Those are all the choices we have to make.
Now, speaking of cancer, right?
Yeah.
Not to cut you off. I hear there's this technology now where they can freeze the tumor. Is that here, or do you know anything about
I
that?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
I guess we got to go to Australia.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah, but I read some books where they actually talked about that fasting is actually good. Fasting does a lot of stuff to cancer cells. Basically, what it does is just deprive them of the sugar that they need, to keep growing. Even like tumors too.
Yep.
So, whatever you can do to help yourself. But the most important thing is to know your status. Check
You got to
yourself.
go to the doctor. A lot of folks are afraid to go to the doctor. Though.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a huge thing. I mean, a lot of folks are they don't like the doctor. I don't know how you get over that, but that's a major issue. I feel.
Maybe you need to get some candies when you get to the doctor's
Candies or something else.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you
Go to-
remember, as children, a lot of young people used to cry at the doctor.
Yeah.
And as you get older, and you have to take it upon yourself to go, what happens is that's a commitment that you have to make for yourself,
Well, even with COVID, they was offering lottery tickets, man. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, going to the doctor is the first step, and there's other preventive measures, besides fasting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? Are there certain types of foods we probably need to eat more? Vegetables,
Just
fruits?
avoid sugar. Honestly, if you can, just avoid sugar. And I see the amount of sugar that they put in some of the food that we, I'm not trying to badmouth any franchise or nothing, but just reduce the amount of sugar that we eat.
Well, sugar is very addictive.
It's very exactly.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
also,
the main thing. And
it's also not good for the body.
and
It's not good for
they market sugar. They addict the kids on it at a very young age. And once kids are, by the time they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, they're addicted to sugar. It hits the pleasure part of your brain. So that's why that sugar is so addictive to you.
Do you know America is one of the places when you go, the amount of sugar that we eat, even in soda. Go to London. I don't know about Australia, most likely too. If you look at how many grams is in a can of soda, you'll be amazed.
Oh, most definitely.
It's about
yeah.
38 grams of sugar.
Yes.
Take any soda that but if you go to London, it's about 14 grams.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
It's a big difference, like triple, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are going up to 48 grams of sugar.
And,
There's so much sugar.
and those places have
consuming.
less medical problems than you do as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
So that says a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, so let me just round up by telling you guys about we have housing program for HIV positive individuals. We have psychosocial support groups. These are groups for people who are who are HIV positive, who come there to support each other. Share eat some meals and share some healthy ways. Like someone who's living with HIV for like 30 years can tell someone who's just been diagnosed, oh, by the way, you don't have to die. And look at me. I've been living with HIV for 30 years or 20 years, or even 10 years. That gives someone hope, like a newly diagnosed person. Hope that, oh, by the way, I'm not going to die. So we have those support groups. They meet every Thursday at satellite location at 895 Blue Hill Ave from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. Every Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. we have that group. It's a confidential group where you come in, you just share a meal, just share support among each other. We provide transportation assistance to people to go to appointments, Uber or Charlie cards we call it medical transportation, so that you can help yourself and go to medical and non-medical appointments. All right.
Yep.
We also provide case management. So basically, someone is there to be your case manager to help you navigate, everything else that you need. Help you make your appointments, help you find you making appointments for you, help you to go whatever else you need. Basically, their job is to help you to make sure that your HIV treatment is in place and that your virus load is going down.
This is amazing. It's amazing that all these services are out there for people. It's good to know in our community that we have these services still available. Because, I tell you, with the current administration, you just think there was so many cuts being made to certain programs. And to know that these services are still available is really good.
Yeah, it's, we're lucky. I think the federal government also realizes that HIV is a very serious, serious, call it disease, but that they just can't play around with it.
And you provide mental health.
We provide mental health services.
That's great. Yeah.
We have behavioral health. We have psychiatry. Also, at our Harvard Street. Anybody if you want counseling, please let us know. If you want medications, we provide substance abuse services. I'm gonna come back another show and talk about substance abuse services that we provide. Again, if you want to reach us, call us on 617-657-1263. 617-657-1263.
Okay.
And we can help you.
That's great.
And so what did we learn today? 1, AIDS is not a death sentence. All right. 2, stop with these multiple partners, And 3, you better start strapping up again because
HIV is still floating around
it's
out
still
there.
floating around out there, folks. Still floating around. But
and if you catch it, there's treatment. There's treatment, there's no cure.
There's treatment, there's no cure. Okay. Well, yeah, man. Thank you for stopping through, man. Anything we missed when it comes to that HIV?
We'll come back another time again.
Yeah. And I'd like to get someone in here too, man. If you guys have someone over there, man, just to talk about some of the other stuff too, diabetes, cancer.
Yep.
Black health is a major problem. And I'm sure, Rich, a dozen people, but it seems like since COVID, people have been dropping like flies. It's like if I don't know 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, my friend or somebody in my circle, we all know someone or have a bunch of folks that have passed recently at young ages. And I know in the past it was like the average age for an individual was like 71, 72 years old. And I know it's much lower than that now.
Yeah. Now, doctor, before you go, what's the life expectancy right now for Afro-American man? What is it, 75, 76, somewhere around there?
There was a study that was done, it's actually lower than that. It's in the 50s, actually.
Yeah, see?
It's lower to the 50s?
Yeah, it has to.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
I
was a
mean-
study that was done a couple of years ago.
But I
Actually,
think that involves violence, gun violence, and everything. They used all those numbers together.
I don't know. I mean, we're not even talking about that. We're just talking about health-wise, the average age.
But I think
It
when
used
they,
to be around 70-something
but
years
when
old.
they use that, Steve, I think you're looking at when you see someone in their 20s, that will bring our average age expectancy way down.
Yeah, that's true when you look at the overall picture. But when
Yes.
it comes to health, I know it was around 70-something years
Yeah,
old.
it
I
was-
want to say 72
It
years
was
old.
70, yeah, it was in the mid 70s.
Right.
I think Asians have the highest life expectancy in this country.
yeah,
but
they do.
But if you based it off just since COVID, it's got to be around, like he said, I would bet 50-something years old.
Yeah, 53. There was a study that was done. They looked at the life expectancy between Roxbury and Back Bay.
Yes, I did see
You
that.
saw
I
that?
did. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Well, I tell you
So-
what, if that's the case, that sounds like it's 1920 all over again. Because life
That's not
expectancy
good.
at the turn of the century was
Yeah.
not very high for almost anyone. It didn't matter what your ethnic group. It's just that we didn't have the medical treatment. And
How important is sleep?
Sleep is very important. I mean, on average, we need about 6 to 8 hours of sleep for a normal.
Because nowadays folks are on the phone, man. Social media keeping
Yeah,
everybody up.
I mean the brain's getting stimulated and stuff. Yeah, if you can get some nice sleep, absolutely, yeah. But we'll talk about life expectancy. There's so many factors that come in, and I see some stuff, when it come to the black neighborhood, you see liquor store.
yes,
Now it's the weed.
Yeah, liquor store, fast food, liquor store, fast food.
and dispensaries.
And then exactly, yeah, what do you see in the other neighborhoods?
You don't see it.
You don't see any of that.
You go out to the suburbs, you have to search
Mhm.
for a liquor store.
So exactly. So I think some of the changes have to start from the system itself too.
Yes,
Who is giving those licenses?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Why do you have to give 10 licenses to have liquor store in this neighborhood?
And you got to remember, we're the biggest consumers
Mhm.
of everything, pretty
Everything.
much.
Everything.
We're the largest consumers when it comes to that
Yeah.
stuff. So, those corporations, they target us on all levels.
Yes, so right.
You know?
And Steve is a witness to this. As kids growing up in the 70s in Roxbury,
Mm.
remember, Steve, we had to go outside our neighborhood to search for a McDonald's. Just think about it, Steve. There was no
Well,
McDonald's.
yeah, it wasn't.
No
Nothing.
fast food.
Yeah, fast food wasn't even around like that. I mean, it was around, but it wasn't.
We had to go outside our neighborhood to find a McDonald's.
Which
Right.
is good.
Now, within a radius of so many miles, you can find about 5 of them.
But they're closing. Fast food has been declining over, since COVID as well. They're losing a lot of money because one, especially in McDonald's, I think they lowered their prices again, but the prices was ridiculous, man. You go on McDonald's and it would cost you a dinner at Legals.
Yes,
You're
definitely.
paying,
Oh, you spend $40 in
Yeah.
there. I mean, I'm not a McDonald's person, but I hear people say the price of the McDonald's, what they go in there and spend. I'm like, you spent $30 at McDonald's?
I know.
Yeah. And McDonald's is terrible, man.
Yeah.
I stopped eating that a long time
Yeah.
ago, man.
Listen, everybody have their own business, I mean, they're entitled to. We just have to.
That don't mean you have
Go
to
back
buy
to-
it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Right?
And yeah, we know as a doctor, man.
What happens to color green, man?
Yes,
Huh?
we have choices.
What
Yeah,
happened to
choices, man.
What happened to making like some nice
Home cooked food.
home cooked food?
Home cooked.
Right?
Home cooked food. That's the way to go.
Yeah, the processed stuff is killing us too, man. Stuff they put in the food nowadays,
Exactly. Yeah.
so
All right,
yeah.
guys.
Okay,
So,
Doctor,
hey,
thank you.
thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
through, man. We appreciate you. We
It's
definitely.
always a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
I love coming over here, and I'll come back again.
All right, no doubt, man. We love to have you back, man. Thanks again,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. That's Dr. Cyril Ubiem, PhD over at Harvard Street Neighborhood Health Center. And once again, when is that free? You said on Tuesdays.
The
The HIV.
group
Yeah,
every Thursday.
every Thursday.
So every
Okay.
Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. All right. 1 to 3 p.m. every Thursday, we offer free food,
Go in and get a meal and,
exactly, yeah.
and information.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you come on a Wednesday, like tomorrow at Harvard Street, we have food pantry. Come and get some fresh food.
Okay,
Right.
thank
Yeah.
you, doctor, for
Yes.
putting that information out there for the community.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you.
895 Blue Hill Ave. Come on down on Wednesdays. You can give you a free bag of food.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you.
Thank
See you next time.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that's Dr. Cyril Ubiem, PhD over there at Harvard Street Neighborhood Health Center. All right, so yeah, man, that was good stuff. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Doctor, you have a good one.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in right there. So HIV is on the rise and has been on the rise since COVID. So folks, multiple partners, gotta slow it down. you better start thinking about AIDS again. I remember when AIDS first came out, man, or when it became an epidemic. I know as a kid, man, I was worried, man.
Oh,
Everyone was worried about catching HIV, man. It was a big deal. But like you mentioned earlier, over the years, when Magic Johnson caught it, and here in 2026, he's still around and looks healthy as ever. I don't even know if he still even have it.
well, they said, like I mentioned to the doctor, Steve, the medicine that he takes, it makes it undetectable in your body, where you can't even pass it on to another person. Steve, I go a little further back than that. Remember Rock Hudson and Liberace?
Yeah.
And those was the first known cases. And if you remember, Steve, those guys was icons in the entertainment world. Liberace, Rock Hudson,
Yep.
they died very quickly from it, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so if you think about it, that was the early 80s. And I mean, back then, getting AIDS was a death sentence.
Yeah, it was a death sentence.
And by the time Magic got it, Steve, we were still at the tail end of that, like, just being like so amped up about it.
Right.
But with Magic Carter, you remember people were crying. And then as time went on, remember when Karl Malone was complaining about Magic
Being on the
him?
basketball court. Yeah.
Being on the basketball court. He caught a lot of flack from that.
Yeah.
He was worried about Magic sweat, and that was the phobia behind it. And then the next thing you know, Magic retired abruptly.
Mhm.
Then Magic comes back, win the MVP in the All-Star game, plays on the first Dream Team, because once everyone calmed down and realized you couldn't catch AIDS by their sweat getting on you, And I tell you, Karl Malone took a lot of flack from that.
Yeah, I remember
at the time. So, and Magic, God puts people in a place sometime for a reason. Magic brought up a lot of awareness about HIV and AIDS back then.
Yeah.
He
did brought a lot of awareness to
and
it.
he was a big time ambassador for it,
Yeah.
So yeah.
But so I just want to talk about, and I know he couldn't really get into it. It's not his job to worry about or even think about what other countries do. But I'm just amazed at the technology that they're using in these other countries already. They have this thing in Dubai where people go there and in a day they go and get their blood cleaned out. So with all the sugars and toxins that's in the blood, people go to places like Dubai and even in Canada, and they get their blood cleaned out. It's like getting an oil change.
Yeah, it's called purifying the blood. I've heard that there are countries that do that, Steve. You sit there and they basically drain the blood out your body. It somehow the blood in your body gets drained out. It's kind of like rotating, and they purify your blood. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works, Steve, but I've heard about it.
Well, I'm hearing some real positive things about it, and even in like I mentioned, in Turkey and in Australia and in probably most places outside of America, you go and get a checkup. It's a full body checkup for any and everything, man. But here, you go get a checkup and it's 20, 30 minutes. You know, they bang on your knee, you know, take the stethoscope or whatever, can't even say the word, and put it on your chest, listen to your heart, cough, and oh, you're good. Look at your tongue, and it's, you know, like, that's it.
Well, Steve, you know what you're saying has truth to it. When I go to my doctor, they draw blood for the PSA.
Yeah.
See if anything's in your blood. They take your urine, check for diabetes, see if you have elevated levels of sugar, and of course, EKG, check your heartbeat. So, Steve, I think it's about who's your doctor, what type of health plan you have, you know. And sometimes, Steve, I'm telling people, if they're listening, you have to push these doctors sometime. I had an older doctor, retired about maybe 5 years ago.
Right.
He was great at this stuff, Steve. You know, he found a spot on my lung, and I'm not a smoker. It's called a nodule. Every year I went in there, they x-rayed in my lung until that spot disappeared. What he was looking for to see if that spot got any bigger. Come to find out, Steve, I'm working in the subway for the MBTA, a lot of dust. And he asked me, did I work around dust? I told him, yeah. He said, sometimes when we work around dust, we inhale dust, you get nodules on your lung. Most people get them is smokers.
Yeah.
And he looked at that spot for about 3 years in a row, Steve, until it disappeared.
Yeah.
But that's a doctor, older doctors. Honestly, and I've witnessed this, the younger doctors are being controlled by the insurance companies. They're only going to run the bare minimum of tests. I have a
and that's what I feel, Rich. I feel like today it's all about, you know, get them in, get them out.
Yes.
Prescribe this, prescribe that.
Yes.
Now, I've had a doctor, I mean, I had this guy, man, I can't, probably 30, 40 years, man. Long time. And then he went into private practice, right?
Yes.
So I had to find a new doctor. I've never been satisfied since. And so it's even to the point where, you know, I'm trying to locate my old doctor at his private practice. Look, man, whatever the monthly fee is, man, I gotta go. I gotta get back to him because I felt like I got the best service, and he like.
What you have to do, Steve, I'm telling you, as experience, you have to be proactive in your own health. And over the last, I want to say 35 years, maybe close to 40, 35, I've had 3 doctors. Both was old. The first 2 was the older doctors I had for years. They kind of retired and moved on. I have a young Indian doctor, maybe mid-30s right now. We have a good relationship. You know what I do, Steve? I push him. And I asked him, why you're not doing this? And I wanted this done and that done. And you know what? He accepts the fact. He respects me because I told him I had older doctors. I ran these tests. I've remained healthy. And I want to keep doing what's been done. But if the insurance companies, they will allow them to go at a cheaper cost, Steve. Quick story, not to go too deep. I had shoulder surgery a couple of years ago. But you know what they made me do? They made me do physical therapy for 6 weeks, hoping that whatever was going on with my shoulder would disappear. My doctor goes back in. He says, no, we got to go do an MRI. They wouldn't do the MRI at first. I had a procedure done called a lipoma. That's a growth inside your shoulder. This thing had wrapped around my tendons. It had bothered me for years. No pain, just shoulder stiffness and numbness. Steve, 6 sessions of physical therapy before they ordered the MRI. I go back in, my doctor said, we got to do the MRI. I told him this physical therapy. So that showed me they didn't want to do that MRI. MRI, Steve, is probably between $2,000 and $3,000 right now, if not more. So they was trying to save that money. They was hoping this physical therapy did the work. It didn't. So yeah, Steve, you got to be proactive in your health.
And that's what I feel is one of the biggest issues or the biggest scam going on with the hospitals is at the end of the day, it's not about you. I mean, it's about your health, but it's about the dollars behind your health, because can we save money here? All right, well, just give them this medication. We'll make up for whatever this is going to cost. And a lot of times they'll prescribe things just to be prescribing it, and you don't even need certain stuff. And I'll tell a quick story. So a friend of mine, his mother, and may her soul rest in peace today, but I'll never forget. This might have been, I can't even tell you how long it's been, maybe 20 years, but maybe a little longer than that. But long time ago, she was in the hospital, and they had called my dude and said that she didn't have long to live, and that get the family together, boom, 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 boom. And I remember him telling me this, and so I remember going to the hospital with him, and they had her on all these different medications, and I don't even know how we got to the point, but it was like, well, you know what? Take her off of this. Take off all of that stuff, and I think they left her on one or whatever it was. They took her off on either all or a majority of the medications. And I swear to you, she ended up being around for another 10, 15, or however long plus years after they took her off the medication.
I've witnessed that, Steve. I've seen people come off medications and their health actually gets better because they're being over medicated.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will over medicate you. You got to remember, Steve, whether you're on Mass Health or your own private insurance, the goal is to make money. And writing prescriptions is a money maker. Pharmaceutical companies are worth billions of dollars. And that's what it is, Steve. Steve, it's really a revolving cycle.
It is.
You put out bad fast food, people get sick. You go to the doctor, the pharmaceutical companies.
Thank you for saying that, because you know what?
Give you medicine, and it's a revolving cycle, Steve.
I feel like sometimes when I say it, right? Oh, here go Goose again. Oh, Goose is talking about the food or whatever. But it's true. They're all in cahoots. If you ask me, the Food and Drug Administration, they are all in cahoots with the pharmaceutical companies. The food is bad for a reason. It's bad for a reason. We get cancer and diabetes from the food for a reason, because on the other end, it's money in someone's pockets.
Well, there's no money in a cure of anything, Steve. The money is in the treatment.
Right.
That's where the money is, in the treating you.
Yeah.
So why would you want to cure? If you could take a magical pill right now and cure every disease on earth, will you think they would actually put that out on the market, Steve?
No, they wouldn't put it out. And then, how often have we heard of these doctors having the cure for cancer, and then all of a sudden they disappear, whether it's in a plane crash or they were killed in a fire or whatever it is? Like you said, man, there's no money in a cure. There's only money in helping you maintain whatever it is that you're being hurt by. And that's just a fact. A lot of folks don't want to believe it. They don't want to accept it, but that's just the way it is.
Well, it's a known fact. Why do you think wealthy people tend to live longer lives than poor people?
Yeah.
That's a known fact, if you think about it.
Yeah.
They get the best health care. Their doctors are going to run tests that most doctors in poor neighborhoods don't run on people. But it's up to us to also go into the doctor and push for tests to be had, especially when you're a certain age.
Right. And I also believe that the food in the neighborhood is different from the food in the suburbs.
Oh, most definitely.
You go to a supermarket here, and let's just say Mattapan, Stop and Shop in Mattapan, right? Versus Stop and Shop in Wellesley. Do you think the items are the same? The quality?
I shop outside of Boston a lot of times, Steve.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons I started that probably over 20 years ago. Because for one thing, I noticed the quality of meat was definitely different, Steve.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I don't know how anybody else feel that way.
And even the cost of food is different. I remember I had a foreclosure in Lunenburg, right? And on the way back, I stopped somewhere and I grabbed some milk, and it and a bunch of other things, and it was just so much cheaper compared to the prices in the hood.
Well, the reason for that, Steve, because they know you live in a congested area. They know most people are not going to travel outside their area, so they could raise the prices higher. I've been doing that for years, going outside of Boston shopping, not too far outside of Boston. Chestnut Hill, Route 9, Wegmans, Star Market, certain stores. The foods are cheaper when you go outside, and you're not really going that far. You're only going about 20 minutes,
Right.
or whatever, 25 minutes. But when you're shopping right in the neighborhood Stop and Shops, oh, Steve, the prices are definitely higher because they know everyone's coming there. And let's face it, they know most people are not going to travel too far. They got people figured out more than people realize it.
Oh yeah, I think I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. I just think from the time we're born, we're all really like cattle.
Yes.
Right. And when we're born, we all have a value. Right. There's a value for every individual that's born in this country, because think about it. Right. When it comes to health and medical, someone's going to make a certain amount of money off you. So you're worth whatever that cost of health is, whatever the cost of food, or I don't know, your favorite cereal or whatever it is that you eat. There's a cost that's attached to each and every one of us.
Well, you think about it, Steve. The doctor that was just here, he was talking about coming in for HIV. They have mental health, psychiatrists, social workers. Steve, a lot of people don't realize they have people that studies tendencies of shoppers and how people behave in these boardrooms. There are people in the boardrooms. They know our tendencies, how we shop.
Yep.
Where do we go shop? They know everything about us.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the prices, they know people don't go much outside their neighborhood to go grocery shopping, so they can raise the prices high because people are not going to, very few people will travel and inconvenience themselves because people don't like traffic. That's people's main thing. Oh, I don't like traffic, So, but if you could save, if you're spending $200 a week on groceries, say for a house of 3 or whatever, and you could save $50, doesn't that make sense to travel 25 minutes outside your neighborhood?
It does.
Yeah, there you go.
It does. But convenience, folks often go by convenience.
Yes.
For example, too, Norfolk Hardware. All right. It's in the hood.
Been there for years.
And folks will go there and pay a little bit more instead of going to a bigger chain like a Home Depot.
Yes.
Or Lowe's, where they can get it for a different price. And I've done that plenty of times. I don't feel like going all the way over to Home Depot. Let me just stop in here and grab this real quick. It's right here, so what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some could easily say, well, the gas that you spend going there to Home Depot comes out to being the same, maybe or maybe not. But yeah, man, I just, at the end of the day, as a culture, we spend a lot of money. Obviously, man, we spend a lot of money on everything.
A lot of unnecessary things. And like the doctor said, we need to get back to cooking meals at home. That's the main thing.
Fresh
man.
meals.
Fresh meals for the kids, mainly for the kids. Train the kids to eat at home at the table. Because these kids, man, by the time they're 15, 16 years old, they already know how to take their phone out and order Uber Eats or DoorDash.
Yeah. And we didn't talk a lot about what's in the food. We touched on that a little bit, but everything is bio something.
Oh, it's artificial, man. Everything's being made artificially now,
Yeah. So I would say as a culture, we just got to change from eating the way we've been eating to, eating healthier and buying, and like you said, cooking a fresh meal. Once upon a time, the mac and cheese and the Sunday dinner type of thing, we didn't get sick from that back in the day.
No.
Think about that. We didn't get sick from those meals back in the day. And,
we didn't.
And that was famous in the household. It wasn't even just, it was a few times a week, whether we cooked fried chicken and ate the chicken and the Sunday meals.
Well, the funny thing is, they will push that soul food is so unhealthy for us, right?
Right.
Steve, I got relatives in South Carolina. I got an aunt, 92 years old. I got cousins in their mid 80s. I got
Neck bone.
oh, Steve, but Steve, it's fresh food. You could
Yeah.
say soul food is, oh man, it's fattening collard greens with pork in it, the mac and cheese, the fried chicken. Steve, at the end of the day, it's home cooked food. So, but they push that narrative at us. Oh, the black soul food is so unhealthy. Steve, our mothers ate that stuff, man. How old is your
Yeah.
mother now, Steve?
My mom's is 84 years old.
84 years old. Look at that, man. And mom's still going in the kitchen cooking up.
Mom's still cooking.
See
The
what
thing
I'm saying?
about, but the thing about when mom's cooks now, she knows the food is different.
That's right.
Like she can cook a steak or whatever it is, and she complains now that she can't get it right like she used to. And it's not that she can't get it right. It's just that the food is different now.
Most definitely.
Everything's different. The meat is different. Everything is different now. So she complains a lot about, like when she cooks bacon, she likes her bacon nice and crispy in a certain way.
Can't get it crispy.
She can't get it crispy. She can't get it the way it don't even taste the same.
Man, go up there to Wegmans and get mom some of that organic farm raised chicken, man,
Right.
so she can get it right.
Right. And what's funny is the thing about mom's cooking, right? I could do the same thing at home, but it don't.
It's not gonna come out the same.
Listen, moms can make a sandwich, right?
And it tastes
a regular ham and cheese sandwich.
and it just tastes different.
It's the best ham and cheese sandwich in the world, man. And I can make the same sandwich at home, but you know what? Nah, it ain't like mine.
It don't taste right. Yeah. That's what it is though, Steve. It's the food, man. I go to South Carolina, Steve. That fresh home cooking, man, just tastes so much better.
Right.
And you know what? Hey, listen, I'm gonna eat me some mac and cheese. I'm gonna eat me a collard greens with a little bit of pork in it. Hey, man, down in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, those people are in their 90s. I got family members down that way, man. Those people are pushing 92, 93 years old, still walking around driving to church on Sundays.
And I feel like folks in the South are healthier than people in the city, especially in places like Alabama, man.
Yes.
And even in Georgia, when it comes to athletes, I feel like they breed them.
Oh, yeah.
And in places like Florida, I'm like, what are they putting in the food down there?
Hey, man, they're just eating that good country food down there, Steve.
Yeah.
The problem with the big city, Steve, everything's a fast food right at your disposal. Everybody's eating fast food. If you look in our community, Steve, there's a fast food joint. Every corner you go, there's fast food.
Right.
Nobody wants to cook. Everybody's in a rush now, Steve.
Yeah. But fast foods are disappearing.
Yes.
And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know for a fact, I was reading somewhere that McDonald's is closing all these locations. Wendy's is closing all these locations. And if I'm not mistaken, Wendy's now has to post what they put in their food.
Pizza Hut just closed 250 locations nationwide. Steve, I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it. I've eaten Pizza Hut once in my lifetime. Yeah. I'm not gonna miss Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss.
And that was at I think that was at somebody's birthday party or something.
Yeah, and I don't even recall ordering pizza or even Papa Gino's and places like that.
So that's what I'm saying. These places are closing because who cares about that stuff as you get older? I think they cater Domino's pizza, terrible pizza, but the young people love Domino's.
I just think people are more hip to the stuff that's in the food, and they know it's not good for them.
Yeah.
They know a lot of this fat, especially McDonald's, man. McDonald's should have been shut down all the places, man, because that place is just terrible. And, if I were to get something out of there, I wouldn't even get the fries anymore,
Well, Steve, I noticed, man, that McDonald's don't even look the same that we remember as we were kids.
It don't look the same.
Oh, man.
It don't sit the same.
Have you seen the test where they've letting a McDonald's hamburger sit for like 5 years? And that thing don't even go bad. It looks exactly the same.
And the same thing with the fries, So I'm not mad that they shutting those places down. And I know, initially kids get hooked on it easily because of they want the Happy Meal because it comes with a toy, and half the time they don't even want the food, and the nuggets ain't real chicken or whatever it is, man. But I'm not mad that they're closing all those locations.
You know what? I love a good burger. Give me some real beef.
Right.
Don't give me nothing that's only 10% beef and a lot of additives.
Yeah. So I think that's good. Shut down all these places, man. People got to get back to eating healthier meals and good food.
That's right.
I just think in the end, they took advantage of the consumer because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, we are all cattle. There's a dollar attached to every last one of us. We spend, just think about it, right? Think about all the money you've spent going out to eat, ordering Uber Eats, even just going out dining, sitting. We spend a lot of money.
Most definitely.
We spend a lot of money sitting at the bar, ordering chicken. And as we said before, how come there's never a chicken shortage? There's never been as much chicken that we eat, right? There's never been a shortage on chicken. You've never heard anybody talk about it.
I know. No restaurant runs out of chicken.
There can't be that many chickens in the world, so they're doing something.
Oh,
you know.
Well, the doctor actually said they're growing the chickens in like 3 months, Steve.
Yeah.
You know, they've found ways to speed up the process. So if a chicken's growing in 3 months, Steve, and the chemicals, that's letting you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're doing something. Man. So listen, man. Health has been a big issue, and we all know people that have just all of a sudden passed away, whether they're in their 40s, early 50s. People are dying a lot sooner and not even making it to the average age, which once upon a time used to be 70-something years old. Now folks are dying in their 50s and less, 50 and under.
Yeah, that's sad because, like I said, in the last 2 years, Steve, man, I've been to several funerals, people that's younger than me, man, and I'm like, wow, man, this is insane. You know?
But you know what? I would love to get somebody in here to talk about, because I don't even know how I came across this, but in Australia, no, it's Turkey, they have this technology for cancer where they stick a needle into the tumor or some type of pin into the tumor, and they freeze the tumor to the point where it kills it, and it, cancer in Turkey is no longer a death sentence.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got to do some research on that, Steve, because that's amazing. If you think about that, because most of the time when they find cancer in you, they always say about did it spread.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a tumor, if they can get it before it spreads.
Right.
That's the biggest thing they always say. You know?
Yeah. So, so I think about that, and I'm like, well, how come we don't have that technology here? And a lot of times I just feel that we do have a lot of answers to cancer and the cure and whatever other medical condition. But again, like we said, there's no money in finding a cure.
Well, that's been my thing, Steve.
Yeah.
We got so much technology. We got AI. We've come up with all of these advances in technology. But that one thing, cancer, there's no cure for cancer.
Yeah.
And that always makes me think, this in the back of my mind, is there really a cure, but it's just not going to be put out there ever because there's no money?
There's no money in the cure. And the pharmaceutical companies, it's not to their benefit.
Yeah.
It's not to their benefit. If they're accustomed to making billions and billions of dollars off the medication, and all of a sudden that goes away, that's not good for whoever.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, never mind the reports of these doctors having a cure and going to some conference all together, and then all of a sudden the plane disappears. How many times have we heard that?
Well, in the science world, there have been doctors that have come up with stuff, and I tell you, a lot of times it's been pushed into the background.
Yeah.
Or they just tell them that they're crazy, and this doesn't make any sense in the medical field.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are not doctors. We had one on with us earlier, and we're just talking a little bit about about the medical field and the food and all the stuff that's been hurting us over the years. Because at the end of the day, man, again, we all know someone that has passed in as recent as 2 to 3 weeks in most cases. And if you don't, then you have a friend or somebody that knows someone that passed away, whether it was due to cancer or something else. But the way to beat that stuff, yeah, we got to eat better. It's hard because we've been in the habit of eating the way we've been eating all our lives, not knowing the stuff that they're putting in the food nowadays is totally different. It's not even the same food. Food is totally different now.
Most definitely, Steve.
You know.
What do you think about the passing of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, Steve?
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
And of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the Rainbow Coalition, and his friendship with the late Dr. Martin Luther King, of course. Yeah, and how old was Jesse, by the way?
Jesse was 84.
Okay.
You know, Jesse was 84. He had Parkinson's. He was diagnosed a few years ago.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, you know, seeing that, Jesse was, let's face it, Jesse ran for president in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Then he ran again in 1988. And he lost to our former governor, Michael Dukakis,
Yep.
who was actually leading in the polls against Bush 2, or was it Bush 1? Bush 1.
Bush 1, yep, the first Bush.
And until he brought out the Willie Horton thing to scare everybody about, you know, Dukakis letting Willie Horton out of jail, Michael Dukakis was on his way to becoming president.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. And after that, but Dukakis beat Jesse in the Democratic primary.
Right.
Jesse made his mark in politics, and he actually paved the way for Barack Obama. Emmanuel, over there, the mayor of Chicago. What's the name? Rahm Emanuel, out of Chicago. Jesse was out of Chicago. All those guys.
Right.
He paved the way for those guys, and him and Obama. They had a rocky relationship early on when Obama ran, but they came together and cleared up everything. I think, you know, one of the problems was Jesse felt Obama should have took him along for the ride. But sometimes when you're in politics, you got to distance yourself from somebody from the previous years in order to get where you want to get.
Yeah.
But Obama, you know, him and Jesse patched things up. And Jesse was polarizing. He went all the way back to Dr. Martin Luther King. He was with him when he got assassinated.
Yeah. And there's even rumors about his involvement with that, which I didn't believe.
Yeah, people spread those internet rumors. I mean, you look at those guys. What's the former mayor of Atlanta? Andrew Young.
Yeah.
Those guys are from that era of the civil rights, you know. And you think about it, man. That's Jesse passing is actually, that's fascinating when you look at what he brought to the table in the 80s running for president and what he promoted and the era that he came from. That's definitely a political icon, and he paved the way for a lot of black politicians to be where they're at right now because he gave them a platform to give them the confidence to let them know they could go out there and run for these political offices.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think overall, in the end, though, he got a bad rap. You know, whether it was due to the media not liking him or whatever it was. You know, one thing about the media, you know, the people in power when it comes to that, if they want to reshape your image to look like something else and they have control over that, it can easily be done. And it was easily done back then because people, you know, when Jesse, for the most part, had a great reputation as a leader in our culture, that changed over the years. You know, people started thinking otherwise about him based on, again, the reshaping of his image through the media and people who just didn't like him. And again, I don't know whether those were facts that were spoken about him being involved with Martin Luther King, But
well, that was to me a lot of rumors. I saw stuff on the internet, Steve, and you know what? People were making some derogatory comments, calling him a race hustler. You know what, Steve? Most of our black icons, just like Martin Luther King, back in the day, Steve, they called him a communist because they
Right.
said he was anti-American. Anyone who have ever stood up for people's rights, especially black Americans, communists have always been attached to them. You know, going back in history, you're not allowed to stand up for anyone's rights in this country. You just got to go with the system and what it is, and this is what it is. Anyone who stands up to fight. But Jesse, I like Jesse for the message that he brought, especially through the late 70s into the 80s. We needed his message, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, people are gonna, you know how that goes, Steve. No one's gonna be happy with anything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about Michael Jordan. Hey, people say he left basketball because he was gambling. His father was murdered on the highway at a rest area, okay, by two guys that's in jail to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But people will always create rumors. That's what we do. I mean, not we, but the media. That's what happens, you know.
And you know, a lot of people don't like Michael Jordan. And my thing is, right, you know, I feel like I got a friend, she can't stand him because she feels he's not for the community or things like that. But one thing I can tell you, like, you know, there's a lot of folks that do things for the community and don't want to be in front.
Don't want no recognition.
They make donations to wherever they're going to make donations. They do their thing, and they just don't want the world to know.
That's right.
So you know, I think Michael Jordan's always been that type of person. He does what he does, and no one's going to tell him how to do it, and he's not going to follow what the media wants or what any other individual says he should be doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel. So I don't run to that conclusion because someone says, "Oh, he doesn't give to the neighborhood and stuff like that." How do you know?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. How do you know that?
Some people who give to charities, they don't even want the recognition.
Right, they don't.
Yeah, they don't want the recognition.
Right.
So that happens a lot. But yeah, the great Jesse Jackson's passed away. I mean, to me, he was a political icon. You can pick his whole career apart for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was somebody that looked like me that I could look up to and gave me inspiration.
Right.
You know, and that's the biggest thing I take out of his career. You know, Steve, I mean, let's face it, Steve, growing up as kids, we didn't have a lot of people to look up to like us, unless it was an athlete.
Right.
We didn't have nobody in the political field to look up to. And Jesse gave us that guy to look up to. Besides Martin Luther King,
Mm-hmm.
Jesse was probably the next guy to come along for us to look up to, you know?
Yeah. And you know, with it being Black History Month, I mean,
I know Jesse waited to Black History Month to pass away.
Right.
Jesse said, I'm going to wait till February. I'm going to pass away in February.
Yeah. Just let me hang in there until Black History Month, man.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm a part. Yeah, he is a part of history.
That's
sure.
right. Most definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, folks. Just want to say thank you for joining us for R&B Talk today. I don't know if we missed anything we need to get off our chest, Rick.
I think that was pretty good, Steve, what we did today, man. I mean, we just kind of in a little depression right now. No football, but the NBA is going to start back up, and college basketball is heating up. March Madness is right around the corner.
Well, you know what? Before we go, since you mentioned it, the NBA, the All-Star. Did you even watch the All-Star game?
Steve, honestly, I caught the game. Actually, Steve, it's got better ratings this year, and people were actually satisfied with the competition. Those guys actually went out there and played this year trying to win because they restructured things.
But over the years, people would go. All-Star Weekend was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
It didn't seem like people went. Where was the All-Star game this year?
It was in LA.
It was in LA. Okay.
It was in LA, and I caught the second half of it, Steve. And actually, Steve, it was pretty entertaining. Guys were actually trying to win this year. Mm-hmm. You know, it had the older players like LeBron, Steph Curry against the younger players. But in the first game, they had the USA against the world, which was, you know, Luka and those guys, Wimby. And so that's how they promoted it this year. And then in the end, you had the USA against the USA team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you know what, Steve? Guys were trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Anthony Edwards was going at LeBron and KD. It was guys were playing defense out there, Steve.
Right.
You know, and Jaylen Brown was in it. He was a starter. And he got into a little incident in Chicago, not Chicago, LA. Did you hear about the incident?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
In Beverly Hills,
Yeah,
he had an event and they shut it down.
Yeah, they shut it down, talking about he didn't have a permit. He said, I never even applied for a permit. And it was at the guy that owns the Oakley Shades at his house. How do you shut an event down at someone's house?
And it wasn't a party.
It wasn't a party.
It was a speaking engagement
at someone's house.
With a panel. Yeah.
Yeah, at someone's house, and you come and shut something down.
And that might have been the neighbors in Beverly Hills or whoever.
Yes, most definitely.
You know.
Jalen said he lost about $300,000 in that event. I guess the guy that owns Oakley is going to sue the city of LA.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of pathetic that they showed up at someone's private house. You know, I'm quite sure people in LA give big parties all the time, man.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't even a party. It was just a get together, and everyone was invited, and it was a function going on at a house.
Yeah.
You should need a permit at your own private property, right? Which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, but Jalen was very professional on the news talking to the cops. I like the way he live streamed it, and he stayed professional. He didn't get disrespectful, and he kept it respectful. Well, he's a well-spoken, educated young man, very smart young man. Yeah. So that went off pretty good, man.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, and like you said, man, still going through withdrawal with the Patriots. I don't care what nobody say, man, but you know we lost the Super Bowl. The thing that angers with me with the loss, just to go back a little bit, is how we lost. It's not that we lost.
Oh yeah,
it's how we lost.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, Seattle dominated us. Our offensive side of the ball, our defense kept us in the game. Mm-hmm. But you know, Steve, there's a few moves we have to make on the offseason that will get us better. I see some things. Just for quick news, the Miami Dolphins released Tyreek Hill.
Now, do you think he'll be able to come back? Because he was down with a dislocated knee and a torn meniscus or something like that?
Well, Steve, you know his game is predicated on speed.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Will he's 32 years old, I think, 33. Will he regain that speed? Some people say they could see him returning to Kansas City because he knows that system. He's older now.
But will he be the same? And that's my question.
How much speed will he lose? That's the thing. You know,
and making cuts and all of that.
The guy's got great hands, and that's going to be the thing. 33-year-old receiver that was basically a speed guy. He used to they call the guy the cheetah. He used to run by guys. So we'll see what happened. The Miami Dolphins also released Bradley Chubb, who had 8.5 sacks, who was a dominant linebacker for a few years. He's only 29 years old. There's rumors floating around that the Patriots might be interested in him. So we'll see where that go. But I'm looking forward to the draft, the combine and the draft and everything. But right now, my focus is on the NBA and also college basketball. Those are what's going on right now in the sports world, you know?
All right. We'll end it right there, folks. We want to thank you for joining us again. We'll be back next week. Next week, we're going to talk about the trades coming back in the schools.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into that and some more. So, that's it for R&B Talk on a Tuesday, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep.
R&B vibes.
Wow, Steve, I didn't realize the HIV had made a comeback like that, Steve.
I didn't know either.
Man, you know. And you know the young people, they don't care, man.
Nah, they don't care.